So Beware, you want to talk about either writing that tune or shooting the video? Just I guess you in front of a screen the whole time?
Well, yeah, the video, I hooked up with the team Donda, which is Kanye's company. They were super creative, man, a lot of creative minds, and we collab on ideas for videos like Beware, Fire, or whatever. And so, you know, it was cool. As far as the song goes, my producer, Lil Wayne, is the one who produced it with the legendary Mike Dean. And I was in the studio with Lil Wayne, and I was just playing him a couple things, and he heard that song and was like, I got to be on that one. Like, that's the one, you know. Like,
was that your Lil Wayne? That kind of sounded like Lil Wayne.
Yeah, okay. You know. So, you know, he hopped on it, and I didn't really want another feature on that song. I just wanted it to be me and Janae Aiko, but every feature I have on Hall of Fame is because they add something to the record, and they add a different perspective, and he added a different perspective to that song, so I liked it and kept it, and, you know, it's Lil Wayne, man, so it's great.
So are you taking their suggestions when you want a different perspective? Are you asking them, can you write about these themes, or you just let them do whatever they want?
Let them do their thing.
Right.
Especially with artists like that, you know, artists who are...
Lil Wayne, I need you to do this for me.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
It's definitely a great, you know, it's definitely a great, I had a great time doing a video, and some people relate to this song way more than others, you know, who's ever been in a dysfunctional relationship, you know, they probably love this song way more, so, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Last time you were here, big thing happened. A buddy thought he saw Mace on a plane too, and he's like, "No, it can't be Mace. Mace not coming to Toronto." and then that night at the show, Diddy and Mace are on stage.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Did you know that was happening, or was that? How did that?
I didn't know any of that was happening. I just knew I was coming. You know, I knew Kanye was coming too, because I heard he was coming, and so I knew that was a big deal. But you know, it was crazy how he did it for Toronto. It's awesome. And I do a homecoming show in Detroit all the time. I've only done it twice, so we just did the second one where I brought him to Detroit. It's Drake and Nicki and a couple other people. And it's the second time I did it in a big arena. And, you know, it's great, but I think this is the fourth time Drake did OVO, so, you know, it's great to see something like that for your city when people come out and they feel so excited and a part of something, so I'm glad I could be a part of it.
Were you a Biggie or a Pac kid?
I was a bad boy kid, I would say. So I was like into Biggie, you know what I'm saying? I was into like Mace and Biggie were like two of my favorites, man. Like Harlem World, and then like Ready to Die, you know, Life After Death, man. Those were like some of my favorites. And I was so young, it was that pivotal point where it was just like, you know, videos like Juicy or videos like Big Papa, you know, all those videos, man, like were my favorites, you know, or Mace and, you know, all the shiny suits and stuff, man. That was like, those were some of my favorites. But I also love, you know, I love Pac too, though. I love Death Row. Snoop, you know, gotta love Snoop. When Doggy Style was out, I was super young, and I remember playing Doggy Style at Thanksgiving one year, and I got the CD from, like, I think my older brother, and I was playing it, and I remember I got my ass whooped that day because I was, like, playing in front of my grandparents, and they were like, what, you know, you hear Snoop, guess who's back in the motherfucking house with a fat dick to your mother, you know, and it's just like, I'm like a little-ass boy playing this, and, you know, so it's just like all those moments, man, are, like, classic moments for me, so I attach to things differently, but as far as if I had to choose between, I was definitely like a Biggie, like, you know, it's just, I don't know why, that's how it was.
Right, yeah, fair enough. So you're on tour now. Talk about the tour a little bit. How are these songs coming out live?
Oh, great. Yeah. Great. It's my first time performing a lot of songs from the new album, Hall of Fame live, and people are loving them, man. And when we get to come to places like, you know, today we're in Toronto, which is so close to Detroit, and Toronto's always showed me love. Like I'm from here, you know what I'm saying? So it's great to always come back to Canada, you know, I'm touring with Cuddy, you know, my brother. So we rip it up every night, man. These kids come out and go crazy.
I was watching the documentary and you see them in the studio on your track. Are you guys doing that one together live?
You gotta wait and see, man. You gotta come to the show, but I mean, I don't give a fuck. Yes, we do
That's
it
the
live.
right way to plug the show, though. Man.
Yeah, no, but it is. It's a great moment too. You know what I'm saying? And we're just having fun, man.
Do you have a band with you? Because in that same documentary, you were talking about going into the booth with Steve playing the bass and having live instruments going on.
Yeah.
Do you have a band with you? Do you want to create more with the band?
Yeah. A lot of shows we have a full band. Some shows we have, you got to see it's like unique how we have it. You know, we have like some live instrumentation. I don't want to spoil it, but it's something unique, you know, how we have like our drummers and everything. So It's not a full band. It's kind of like something special that we did for the tour. So
nice.
It's good.
Would you want to create with a band for a record? Because it's a different process than probably what you've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, everything we do has live elements to it. Every song, you know, we get like live bass and live guitar and live, you know, pianos and everything on top of every track. So we as far as that aspect of things go, we do live bands all the times, and we do a lot of live bands for a lot of live shows too. But you know, a lot of people have like bands, and sometimes we're just trying to elevate it to like a cooler thing. Like, you know, at one time, instead of having a full band, I had 4 drummers on stage, and they all had electric drum pads, and were synchronizing their drums together. You know what I'm saying? And it gave like, you know, the live feel of a band, but it was really 4 drummers on electric pads that were controlling different instruments. So it was just like new elements like that, you know. So yeah. I know a lot of people are gonna start stealing those ideas. It's like, no, it's all good.
But you had it first. You
Yeah.
should patent it, copyright that shit.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. Does the beat influence the rhyme, or do you have rhymes then find beats that fit what you want to say?
Both ways, man. It's like, just like, you know, bisexual shit, man. No, it goes
Kind
both.
of.
Yeah, it goes both ways, though. You know, it's like sometimes a beat is there and you get the lyrics to the beat. Sometimes you have a song and you need a beat to it. And, you know, every song is different. Sometimes you have the concept. Sometimes you don't have the concept. Sometimes you just go in off of feeling and...
What's one off this record where you just went off feeling and just liked what came out of your mouth?
Fire. Fire was like that.
Okay.
The song I did, Fire, yeah, was had no like concept. It was just like a feeling, and it just like by the end of the song, you were like, oh yeah, there's a song, you know. So yeah, things like that. It's no equation. It's not like E equals MC squared or whatever. It's just like whatever you feel.
Right. World Ablaze must have been something you wrote out before. It feels like that would have been a hard song to write, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. That song is one of my favorite songs. And
it's a
it
deep
was
tune.
Yeah, it was inspired by really when I did it at the time, it was my old girlfriend. And her mom had, you know, been diagnosed with like that, you know, I don't want to put all her business out there, but a disease that it touched me. You know, I never knew anybody who was like, you know, where that it's when you hear about things like cancer, this and that, and you know, it's like heartbreaking and devastating. But when it's like close to you like that, it's like a whole nother thing, man. And you know, and I could just imagine. I kind of more so wrote that song from their perspective, and just like, you know, when your world is on fire and things just keep going bad one after another, like how that feels and how we all were feeling. And, you know, it was a tough time, but that, and it has a couple other situations I refer to, but that's definitely a tough time. But I made that song for the people who need that, you know, to get through those times. And a lot of people have come up to me and been like, man, when my mom died, blah, 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 I was listening to World Ablaze, and I just wanted to let you know, man, it really changed my life. And, you know, that's what I made it for.
Well,
so.
yeah, because there's a quote of you saying, I want to teach and make a lasting impact on people's lives with this album.
Definitely.
And it sounds like it's happening.
Yeah,
what did you want to
did.
teach people, though?
Man, I wanted to teach people that you can manifest anything you want, and that you're your own creators. You know, I'm super spiritual, and I believe in that. I believe in like the law of attraction. I believe in manifesting what you want, and just letting people know the components of like how I made it happen, and maybe that can, you know, put that into what they got going on. That can help inspire them, and I wanted to give them some motivation, inspiration, and I wanted to be a vessel for my city and let people know what was going on there. You know, in songs like First Chain, I talk about how the police only work 12-hour shifts because in Detroit that's cheaper than a bailout, you know, bitch or whatever. But it's just like I remember seeing all these things like happen, you know, my homies calling me, or, you know, I've seen, first of all, I've seen the abandoned houses and blocks, full blocks of abandoned houses. I've seen like, you know, I've had friends who've gotten raped walking to school, you know, like girls and stuff, or my homies called me and be like, man, my little sister got raped, and all these things about drug addicts living in these abandoned houses. It's just crazy shit like that going on in the city, man. And, you know, shortening the police hours at the station where we need the police the most, you know, and all these different things. And, you know, people could choose to care or not to care, but, you know, today it's Detroit, but it could be any city. You know, this could happen to anybody. We were like the backbone of the whole economy at one point. We were like the most great city in America, you know, when the automotive industry was kicking in, and it was like, you know, it was crazy to see how I went from there to the most depressed city and to being bankrupt. And, you know, but all in all, through all the madness, I just want to show people that there's positivity there. And I think Hall of Fame is overall a positive album. Where
did it start? When was that break that you noticed?
The break of just like, what do you mean?
Of you realizing this is what I'm doing now. When you talk about
when I was just like, well, when I was on the road after my first album, and I had like a lot of cool radio songs that, you know, did good on radio and sold well and stuff. But, you know, it was like seeing the kids that came up to me and was like, yo, man, I look up to you, or this and that. Or, you know, this one kid in Denver came up to me and was crying, like, you my hero, man. I had you on my birthday cake. You know, he showed me a picture of his birthday cake and was like, man, anything you tell me, I'll do, man. Anything, dog. Just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I listen to you. I look up to you, man. And then I was like, oh, shit, I better say something that's worthwhile and that could be influential to people, you know. And I could still party and have fun like I do and, like, you know, rap about whatever I want. But I also wanted to rap about the things that I believed in, man, because I'm a positive dude. I'm somebody who believes in, like I said, all these positive things. And it wasn't necessarily coming through my music all the way. And I just wanted to make sure I incorporated that more on this album.
Do you feel like you did? Do you feel like you nailed it, everything you wanted to say?
Yeah, I feel like nothing's perfect. You know, I'm never satisfied. I don't think anything I do is perfect, but I guess that's just, I'm still learning as an artist. And, you know, I always want to be better.
We do something called 5 questions. 5 quick questions, 1-word answers.
Okay.
Road or studio?
Studio.
Lennon or McCartney?
Yeah, McCartney.
Okay. When you hear a song, what usually hits you first? Lyrics, melody, or rhythm?
Lyrics, melody, or rhythm? That's hard, man. It just it depends what type of music, you know. Lyrics, melody, or rhythm. Probably I think it's like a tie between lyrics, melody. It's like one and the same. I'll pick melody.
Okay.
Melody.
If someone's never heard Big Sean before, what song do they start with?
Fire.
Oh, you knew that one. Okay. In 1 word, Big Sean.
Legendary.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome.